Hello, my name is Bobby Benson, aka Serendipitously Bobby, and welcome to Life Essentials, the Self Healer's Journey podcast. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Life Essentials, the Self Healer's Journey podcast. I am Bobby Benson, aka Serendipitously Bobby. And tonight, guys, we are going to be talking to our beautiful special guest, Miss Raquel Rocky Harris, and she is going to be sharing her story of becoming. So, first, I want to start off by reading Rocky's bio. As the host and producer of the award-winning podcast Rocky's Reality, Raquel Rocky Harris uses her influence to impact and educate and entertain. Her platform covers culture, entertainment, and relationships with unfiltered and unapologetic discourse. Yes, it does. I love it. Unafraid to explore, unafraid to explore what others are thinking. Her penchant for compelling stories shines during her in-depth chats with activists, Rocky, celebrities, influencers, entrepreneurs, and everyday people. Rocky is a writer whose past bylines Rolling Out, is that Rolling Out Magazine? Mm-hmm. Rolling Out Magazine. She currently contributes to Billboard, This Is R&B.com, BlackLove.com, Parade.com, and in addition to curating content, Rocky also hosts and facilitates dynamic events. Yes, you have your art event. What is that called?
The Artist Showcase.
Yes, Artist Showcase, yep.
2022.
Her ultimate goal is to shift narratives and highlight perspectives while aiming for progress instead of perfection. Yes, this is how she serves her clients, collaborates with colleagues, motivates her supporters, and impacts the world. Thank you for coming. I love this.
Thank you for having me. You're welcome.
So, I want to write that down real quick before we jump into this. We said artist what? Your art thing.
Artist Showcase. That was in the Black Artist Showcase was in the inaugural one was November of 2022. We didn't do it last year, but we are definitely going to plan to come again and have another one and return this year, 2024.
Okay, I just want to get that out there because I remember you doing that and I didn't make it to the first one, so I'll be at the next one.
Thank you. Yes.
I am happy that you said yes to being on the show, Rocky.
You're welcome. I'm glad you asked me. I'm honored always.
Thank you. So we are going to just jump right in to your story of becoming. I've known you for a very long time.
Yes. 20 years.
Yes, and
over 20 years.
Oh yeah, that's the ninth. Oh yeah. Oh my God, we old.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
And
CMO.
Oh my God.
Yep.
Who? Anne Marie? Hey, you watching?
Oh my gosh. Hey, Tish. Yep.
Hey, everybody from CMO.
Oh my gosh. Yep.
So over those years, like we disconnected, our paths crossed again, and the you I met when we were working at CCMO, you have evolved so much. And I remember telling, I was like, you so different.
I guess in some ways.
No, it's in I take it as a compliment because it's like you are just warm, like, okay, y'all, Rocky don't be playing with people. But it's like I feel like I watched you blossom into like a softer, more embracing, loving, like not so guarded.
Okay.
I'll
take that.
Because back then, I was like, man, look at this little sunshine here.
She rough. She a little rough. I earned my nickname Rocky, that's for sure.
And I just been watching what you do. Like I love all your posts. I love your authenticness. You're just honest and raw about stuff, and I love that about you.
Thank you.
I love the mother you are. Your kids are very blessed.
Thank
The
you.
wife you are. We gonna dive into all this, y'all.
Child.
And
Ooh,
you
child,
know,
where the wine? Where's the wine?
the entrepreneur. We got our
We're
wine.
gonna act like Jesus today and turn the wine and the water into wine. We're gonna turn the water into wine today.
So the first thing I want us to dive into is your marriage. 20 years.
22 this September.
22.
Yes.
That's a long time. A lot of people don't make it that far.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Child, and I'm starting to see a lot of people. A Facebook friend. Well, I should say she's an acquaintance. Just shared how she and her husband are divorcing, and it was a mature post. I guess Usher's "Good" is the divorce theme song now because everybody's playing "We Good," but we ain't good, but we still good.
I need to listen to that song.
Yeah, he like, I hate that we didn't make it to forever. Probably not getting back together. Sorry, Usher, I'm butchering it, but that's the premise. He's saying we ain't good, but we still good. Meaning like we ain't together no more, but we still are amicable. So, several people have posted that, and I'm noticing how, kind of like as you get older, the friends get more sparse. It's like marriages have gotten more sparse. Like people that I know who are married and staying married. I know a lot of married people, but like people who've been married and happily still and like each other.
Yes.
Because let's be clear, I don't want to just, I don't want it to just be about longevity, but what's the quality of it?
Yes.
Is where that's what has been
Is
important to me.
love?
Right. Now we have struggled. Now let's be clear, okay? 22 years. But we done came a long way, baby. Okay, we've been like the Jeffersons. We done moved on up.
Yes.
And we done fell back down at some points, but overall, it's been a blessing. So it's definitely a journey. It's definitely a journey.
So 22 years, y'all. I've seen you guys, like, I think I tell you this on social media when you post. I'm like, I love y'all.
When I was at CCMO, that was the year I got it. That's the year I got married, when I was at CCMO.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we know this for 20 years.
Yeah. I got married in 2002, and I was still at CCMO and ended up leaving, like right after the wedding. Yep, right. I left like right after the wedding. Yep.
To get this place.
To go. Yeah. That's when I started with the state of Michigan, and I've been there
ever since.
Yeah.
And that's another journey for another day. But
baby. Yeah. But yeah, 22 years. Yeah.
So in that, like you said, it ain't always been good. It ain't always been bad. What I've seen for you and your husband, Ben, y'all are friends.
Oh my goodness.
Y'all are friends, and he is one of your biggest cheerleaders.
Yes, absolutely.
And he, just watching, like, it's good to see. It's like that support. A lot of people don't have that in marriages. So.
And I'm his biggest cheerleader too.
Yes.
Listen, he knows.
You be pumping up Been Ready graphics.
All the time. He's my graphic designer. He's a phenomenal artist, by the way, Been Ready graphics.
Yes.
He is a phenomenal, not just graphic designer, but an artist of different mediums. He can draw, he can paint.
Yeah.
He can do, of course, graphic design on the computer. But that's definitely sums us up.
Yeah.
In a nutshell.
Yes. And that's why I say I love y'all, because y'all are like, y'all don't care. Y'all real with it. Y'all go live in the car together.
Yeah.
You like, I was talking.
That's the only child in him sometimes. Both of us have dominant personalities, so. But
it works well. So we got marriage, life be lifing, and then we end up with children. So the journey into motherhood, is it everything you thought it would be?
No, it's harder than I thought it would be. I didn't think that, and being a social worker taught me that, like, and that's why I only had 2 children, because I knew, like, having a whole bunch of kids, you're gonna be worn out. And I just knew I wanted to do more with my life than just be a mother and wife. But it's definitely more rewarding than I thought it would be too. I describe it as the beautiful struggle. Like, it's the hardest role I've served in and the most fulfilling and rewarding as well. So definitely not all that I expected. And that's been part of my journey, letting people know that it ain't always cupcakes and brownies and shit. Like, you know, sometimes motherhood sucks. Sometimes you get tired and worn out. But again, I'm just grateful that my children are healthy, that they are relatively normal, that they're good people. They're good people. That they are
good kids.
They are good kids, even though they get on my damn nerves at times. But they are good children, and that's what I'm saying. They're good people. They're good humans. They're covered by a village. That's my bless. And I thank you for being a part of that village. Like people like you who have known us since before we had children, and that's part of why Ben and I try to maintain our friendship, because it's like we were us before them. So motherhood has been.
Well, you rock it. To me, you rocking it out. So your daughter is in college now.
3rd year at Spelman.
So y'all wanted to go to Spelman. I'm so happy for her.
2025 is almost here. So
before you know it, poof.
Right.
And then how old is your son?
He just turned 13.
Okay.
7th grade. We in the middle of hybrid adulthood and teenagedom, pretty much. That's where I exist.
Trying to figure out. Well, he's trying to figure out, do I want to be a man or do I want to be a boy? So
yes, very much so.
So how did say for instance, like the growing struggles and things. So when I'm a social worker, I'm thinking, oh, I can do this. It's gonna be a cakewalk. And then becoming mother, it's like, what do you do to de-stress or decompress to help yourself through motherhood?
Okay. Well, I do indulge. I'm not gonna front. I do indulge. Okay. Now listen. I enjoy the devil's lettuce every now and then. Okay. Okay. And I like wine, but I pray, I journal, and that's part of why I love being a writer, because it's cathartic for me. Writing is my happy place. I read a lot. I take solo dates.
Okay.
At least once or twice a month, I go somewhere either to lunch or dinner by myself and do what the hell I want.
Peace.
And I'm just intentional about sometimes saying no. No, you don't really need this right now, or you did not prepare in enough time. So I'm not dropping you off at the last minute. You're not about to disrupt my schedule like that. And as my children have gotten older, I've been able to do more of that. But also just asking for help too, or letting their daddy know your kids need you. Like, ask your daddy. Like, seriously, like I've really had to, and I've learned a lot from Ben as a parent. We both been doing this, but I've had to learn to let go a lot of times, and just as long as they're alive, let him do it. Shit. Just as long as it's done, it's done. So, but it's several things that I do, several things that are not so healthy, of course, and then there's other things that I'm intentional about, and really, I believe that self-care is not selfish. Yeah. I've really learned how to be more selfish and choose me at times.
That's the healthiest way to be.
Of course, as the mother, I still bear, most of the care. But it's definitely, I'm glad I'm not doing it alone. Like I've had to let people know, and that's the assumption when a mother shows up that she's doing it by herself, and a lot of them are. But I've had to let people know, like, I'm not doing this alone. Yeah, they got daddy. Yeah. and I make sure I incorporate him. And a lot of times the kids know, don't tell one of us something if you don't want the other to know. Because we are going to be communicating about this. So that's part of, at times, it's been many times where Dylan will have issues in school, and I'll be like, I just cannot deal with this. And Ben will be like, okay, it's like tag team and wrestling. But there are times where I'm just like selfishly, like I'm watching my show, or I'm reading my book, or I'm doing something where I tell family to leave me the hell alone. Or I'm not answering that FaceTime because I just talked to you earlier today. Yeah. So it's just things like that, being intentional about blocking off my time.
Yeah, your space, your energy, because you have to refuel, because what you do for a living is stressful, let alone what you.
Very draining.
Yes.
Exactly.
So you got to recharge, repower, So, no, I completely get it.
Absolutely.
And I like that you said you tagged in, y'all, it's like y'all co-parenting in the marriage.
Yeah, and that's exactly, people, when we hear co-parenting, you think it's like people who've broken up. No, in your marriage, you co-parenting as well.
Yeah.
And it's not always an easy process because you were raised differently.
Yep.
So, and those are those conflicts, especially because Ben is an alpha male. And that's what I love about him. I love that he's an alpha male, but it also frustrates me at times.
Because you're an alpha female, honey.
Right. I'm definitely an alpha female. And I don't have a mind submitting to him because I know the true definition of submission is not being subservient.
Yes.
So I don't have you lead me, there are times when I'm like, yes, please take it on. I don't feel like dealing with this shit. So there are times where I've had to learn, and I'm still learning, to back down and not be so protective as a mother, because it's very important to me that we change the narrative of when we grew up. Like, I'm glad that we are the generation who understands the importance of therapy for ourselves and our children. We're understanding that. So some of those things that we have had to unlearn is what I'm cognizant of, and why at times Ben and I might conflict because, of course, me being a social worker, but there are things that I have to learn from him, that I have to let go at times and not make my trauma response take over of trying to control the situation because of past trauma. So, yeah.
So you said a mouthful right there.
I know. I'm trying, yeah.
No, so you done opened the doorway to.
Go ahead.
You told me, you said you're transparent. Okay, y'all. I'm inquisitive. No.
Go ahead. Listen, that's okay. Say too much that probably I ain't already talked about. It is what it is.
I titled your episode Becoming because you are on this journey right now to becoming, like, you're walking in your purpose and you are becoming who God called you to be as you're going on this journey. And it's like you're revving it up more because you share openly, like, a lot of things on Facebook, and that's why I be cheering for you all the time. Like, go Rocky, go! And so in your story of becoming, the traumas from childhood, how did that impact, like, how you view your marriage, and, like, even saying, I want to submit and follow this man, like, and give up control, like, because control is it.
Yeah, it's still a struggle. It's still a struggle, and learning to submit has been one of those lessons I've had to learn during our marriage. And understanding that submission is not like this, like you're just a woman who's not going to have a voice. That's not what it is. But as a kid growing up, I had a supportive family, a loving family, single mother. But some of those traumas were I was the fat kid, so I was teased quite a bit throughout school. My dad was involved, but he would be intermittent. It might be some days he would pick me up, then others not so much. And so that inconsistency is what at times developed a distrust in me in people if they're not following through. And fortunately, my grandfather was a consistent, because we lived next door to my grandparents. Okay. So they were a stable source of support. Okay. And they were the model of what I saw of marriage. And so my granddaddy was a trip. He was a trip, okay? He was old school from Alabama, so he wasn't playing that. And my grandma was definitely the more buffer a lot of times with things. But as I got older, and some things that traveled into my marriage was that lack of distrust, that lack of trust, that at times if you didn't follow through what you said you were going to do, or you need to do it in the urgency, the time that I think you should do it, is where at times we've had our struggles. So I've really had to. I find that as adults now, we're trying to, in a way, make up for shit that happened as kids that we could not control.
Yep.
So we feel like now I can control this.
Yep.
You know, that was something I couldn't control as a kid. So now, but unfortunately, we end up trying to control someone else instead of ourselves.
Yep.
And that's part of what I've had to learn being married, is that I can't control him. And when I started focusing on improving myself and changing myself is when I saw, it might not have been that he changed, but my mindset
About him.
shifted about it. So it's still a process. It's still, you know, therapy is ongoing. Okay, we still have to have these check-ins at times.
Yeah.
And it's definitely not, again, all lipsticks and roses all the time. Like we argue quite a bit at times. There'll be like ebb and flow. It'll be like months where we're just like everything is great, and then it'll be months where we are just like going at it about just bullshit, and then we have to be like, okay, wait a minute. Let me reset. Let us reset. But we are getting better at recognizing when each other is trying to be different and show up differently in a relationship. So it's an ongoing process. It's just when people are like, what's the secret? It's an ongoing process. There's no moment where you're gonna be like, oh yeah, we made it, we good. Nah, you know, it's even with your kids too. When stuff happens with them, that triggers bullshit from your childhood that you're like, okay. So it's definitely just an ongoing thing, and just recognizing at times that I've been controlling because I'm trying to make up for that I've been, I wouldn't say insecure, because my thing is, I know I'm the wife, damn it. Shit. Listen, look, shit, to find someone who's gonna be like me. I want you to, just like I feel like I wouldn't find anyone that would match what he brings to me.
Yeah.
But definitely though, that distrust in my father at times has shown up. And the thing is, Ben is dependable. And that's definitely what drew me to him, his consistency. So when he's swayed from that, I have to realize he's not perfect. Because I'm like, oh, you crushing shit when you, because I'm a methodical, like, routine person. And it's like, I'm impulsive, but also certain shit gotta be in order. And if it ain't in order, then, so it's just giving him grace at times, learning that as well.
You said a mouthful there too.
I know, I'm sorry. I'm gonna try to keep it.
Nope. When I say you said a mouthful, that means
like stuff just leads to the other. You know, it's connected to the other.
That leads me to more questions.
That's fine. That's fine. We get it in before we take the callers.
Yeah, we got some time. So, so grace. Grace is something that we all need. You give yourself out. Like I said, I'll be following you on social media like a little stalker. No? But you post, about your accomplishments and like where you're growing on your journey. You'll talk about that, and you're one of the few people who I see give themselves grace. Like, you're hard on yourself. Sometimes with other posts I see, you're more like, I'm getting it, y'all. I'm getting it, So that's huge that you are so self-aware that you're like, you know what? I'm human too.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you are. And just watching you, just like I say, I'm happy for you. But I want to jump into something else that we had talked about when we met, friendships. So friendships, I'm one of those people who I'll go hard for my girls, and I don't like being put in stuff or put in the middle of stuff. It bothers me, and so you share openly about, your journey in the friendship world. So, at what point did you realize, like, how old were or when you said, you know what, I need a new set of friends, or I need to do something different here because this isn't balancing out?
So let me see. When do I think the shift? I want to say when after I turned 40. Is when I really just started. It's like life started over in a sense. Like a lot of my mindset just shifted, and a lot of things were happening with my media career as well. And I think that, yeah, I was becoming different, but there were some things that were the same about me, but there were some things that I needed differently out of those friendships, and maybe they needed some things too. And I don't think we were at the point where we were willing to give that to each other. And I've always been a person who gets along with different groups, but not really a cliquish person. I like to come, dip in and fellowship, but then I like to be to myself too. And so at times I just felt like the odd man out a lot of times in my sister circle. And I really had to evaluate, I'm not going to keep forcing this. I'm not going to keep feeling like I'm in 2 marriages. I feel like I was in a second marriage.
Oh, wow.
And my
marriage.
Unpack
that.
Unpack it. I was compromising a lot. I was apologizing a lot. It was just a lot of just, but there was a lot of stuff that it made it where it wasn't a marriage. And my marriage was suffering because I was so focused on trying to maintain the friendships. And so I had to make a decision because I felt like I wasn't being supported in a way that I felt I deserved. And to be honest, I wasn't being a good friend to them either at times.
Nice.
It was times where I was being selfish, where I was doing and saying things that were not okay as a friend.
Yeah.
Can't say that I wasn't supportive though, because I will show up.
Yeah.
I will show up. But I guess I was showing up physically, but not emotionally.
Okay.
And it just got to a point where I think when you've been friends for so long, what you need at 25 is different what you need at 40.
Yes.
And for me, as I was growing in my career, you find that you need people who, and that's what made I had to make pockets of friends who were in media, who could understand what that was like.
Yeah.
And a lot, I see what people say when they say, oh, they've changed. And it's like, no, you change the people around you as you are changing, as you are growing. And I really came to see how your circle gets smaller as you are just progressing in life and just doing different things and new things. And so I guess it was around 40 where I was like, you know what, I'm kind of over this. And things just started progressing from there where I was just like, I was separating myself more. And I just didn't feel like my presence was appreciated. So I was like, you know what, I'm not gonna, and then it wasn't just one thing.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. When people say, why did they break up? It's not just one thing,
Shit piles up.
Right, exactly. So it's not like you can just pinpoint and explain. But I just started getting to the point too where I was like, I need more strategic relationships, more so than shoulders to cry on. Yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying? We can, that does help to have that girlfriend you can go to. But I just felt like we were in different spaces.
Yeah.
Different spaces. So, and it's still something because it's a grieving process.
Yes.
It's a grieving process. It is because you knew these
were
people.
long
Right.
time.
These are people who some of them I went to high school with. Some of them were in my wedding. One of them was Dylan's godmother.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so that was a tough decision for me. And at times it still is a struggle.
Mm-hmm.
But I want people to know that whenever I post about it, it ain't always about them.
Yeah.
You know, so don't, you know, that's why I had to tell Ben, like, it ain't always about the bitches, okay? Just understand, shit. Because really, the way, for me, a lot of times when I'm posting something, it might have been something I saw on TV, it might have been someone I saw at the store, and I heard a conversation, and it just compels me, and I start thinking about stuff, and then I'm like, it's just something that a lot of times that pops in my head. And that's for me, because Facebook, you're writing, you're typing. Writing is a cathartic thing for me. I'm typing it out. And I've just learned that you build trust and transparency when people are transparent with you. And everybody has their limit of what business they tell, because understand, you ain't getting everything, okay? Yeah. Now, I am being authentic as much as possible because, see, I'm of the generation, I was around before social media shit. So, you know, like, it was, you know, I didn't come onto social media like, oh, I'm going to have this image. And no, fuck that. This is who I am. Like, at times, this is why I might post a picture without makeup, because this is how I look. This is how I am. You might see me 1 or 2 times with a scarf on because I'm running here and there. I'm being a mom. I'm a real fucking human being. Yes. So, you know, and it's just all learning lessons too. I've really learned to be accountable, and that's something what marriage does, and parenthood. Be accountable for your shit.
Yes, and that's how you grow. That's how, when shit start happening, you can look at yourself like, what role did I play in that?
Listen, like, ooh. And I have to, because as me and the Aries, I know I probably done did something like, ooh. Shit. I mean, I probably done said I did something, but it is what it is. I will.
Why are you looking like that? You're like,
I will. I am one of those. I'm definitely, being married, I've had to learn, like, you better apologize. But definitely to my kids, I have. Have I apologized to friends? Yes. But not. We obviously haven't resolved. And there's probably still some apologies that need to be. But again, I don't believe in closure either. Like, sometimes you're not going to change enough for me, and I'm not going to change enough for you. So definitely could make some more apologies, but I do try to apologize more so with my actions now. Because my thing is, people can say apology all day, but that don't mean shit if your actions don't reflect it. So I'm trying to be more purposeful of not doing this long drawn out apology and trying to just reframe my behavior. Yes. It's a work in progress.
No, but that's where the growth and the change comes in. So the friendships, like now where you're at this phase in your life, would you, because I'm sure you didn't get rid of all your friends. I'm sure there are a few people that are still there. Yeah. So the new relationships that you're building, do you go into them more hesitant because of the past, or how is that now?
Definitely. You said I'm less guarded than I was, and it's like, in a way, I am more guarded. Definitely, and this is something I was discussing with my therapist, because I know I'll never have that connection with women like I had with them, because we knew each other from such an early age. So I'm definitely more hesitant. I'm definitely more aware of how I'm showing up, and letting boundaries be known too, and trying to respect other people's boundaries, and being aware, like, okay, did I, and reaching out to say, oh, did I upset you? Did something happen? Like, if I feel like something has shifted, and then also trying to realize it ain't always about me too. Like, people might be just going through their shit. So definitely more hesitant now, because I'm not really looking for those type of friendships anymore. Again, as I've matured, I'm more like, I'm trying to make some money. I'm trying to make impact. I'm trying to look seriously. Like, I'm not 20, 30 years old no more. I'm not
clubbing.
No. I mean, we all need friends. I don't want to say we don't, but I'm definitely more selective. Yes. And I still only have one best friend. Like, people ain't gonna see me posting 3, 4 people calling them my BFF.
Your best, yeah.
You know who my best friend is. You know, Gigi.
Oh, yeah.
You should know. You should know.
I don't know what I did yesterday, but
yeah. So and most people know Gigi is my best friend. I don't claim a whole bunch of people like that, and I definitely have a lot of old friends like you. So it's just, but I've learned how to compartmentalize and put people into categories now too, and understand.
Yeah.
So it's definitely made me more cognizant and guarded, and trying to also be accepting when people are trying to love on me. That is definitely something that I have to work on.
Well, I'm just gonna say thank you for letting me love on you, because I
appreciate it.
Because sometimes I'll see something, I'm like, oh, are you okay?
I know. I'll be going through it. But I'll be okay. I mean, I don't just like, and I don't make it like, oh, I want attention, because I'm like, this is how I'm feeling right now. Because it might, in 3-4 seconds, 3-4 minutes, it might change. That's just how I am. Like, sometimes I just got to get it off my chest. And I'm moving on. And then somebody come later and I'll be like, shit, I done moved on to the next damn thing, y'all.
What was I talking about?
No, I mean, just like when when the shit happened with Super MC a couple weeks ago, that was devastating for me. Like, that shit fucked me up. And I appreciate people who reached out to me about that, and I'm still planning to use my platform to bring more awareness to domestic violence and just mental health for men, women, period. But I do wear my heart on my sleeve, but there are a lot of things that I keep to myself too. There is, I mean, any woman knows that's how we're conditioned. You hide pain. You keep it moving. That's just how we got to do. And that's partly at times where I do let it out, because I'm like, I can't keep everything in. So people want to act like, oh, I don't need anybody. I'm not one of those people who will ever say I don't need nobody, but I have learned to be more strategic in my relationships.
Yeah. That right there is something I'm still working on. I'm working on that. So
that's why I say progress, not perfection.
Yeah, because I am far from perfect. So let me see, what else did oh, we had talked about shrinking to fit in. So in your, like, throughout your life, at what point, so when did you shrink and when did you stop shrinking?
I would say, like, at different points in my life, like as a kid through middle school and elementary, middle, and high school, I was shrinking a lot because I was overweight. And this was before the curvy woman revolution, before people realized that curvy women are the new black.
Yeah.
When I got into college is when I became more myself, and it was okay for me to be myself. But then after I got married and I was in the thick of, like, my daughter was young, my husband's mom got sick. Those were the times where I was shrinking, because I knew I had to make the sacrifice to be there for my family, to go to work, to do this, to do that, to be their caretaker. And so I would say part of my process of becoming was when I went to Specs Howard. And I just realized that I could really do this. I could really, and I'm good at it. So that, I don't know if it's times I say I shrink. There have been times when I'm in a room with big power people and I might feel that imposter syndrome, but I really try to just knock it off a lot of times. And it amazes me because people will be like, you're so confident. I'm like, they don't know I was feeling like shit that day, but okay. So I really can't say now within the past 10 years that I've been shrinking from anything. If anything, I've been growing. So, and again, realizing that it's okay to be me, that it's okay to be different. Like I said, but yeah, definitely when I was in my early mom years, and I would say like I mean, when I was elementary, middle, high school, and definitely during my early parts of my marriage, I was shrinking.
Well, I'm glad you're growing now, because you know, like even like in the friendships and stuff, sometimes we shrink to keep friends.
Yes, and that was those were, and and I'm glad you said that, because that was part of why I ended the friendships, because I felt like I gotta be someone different than who I am.
Yeah.
I was just too. It was like my personality was too big. It was too big. So yeah, those were the times where I felt like, you know what, and it would aggravate me, because it's like I'm saying the same shit she's saying, but you know, I don't know if that's a weird phenomenon where you tell somebody something and then somebody else say it, and then it's like, oh, it's like I just fucking said that. Like, I've been saying that shit. Like, so that would just annoy me at times. And I just felt like at times, like stuff that I would do would be a huge issue, but when someone else would do it, oh, it's okay, it's not a big deal. It's a special situation. And I just felt scapegoated many times. So those were times, yes, where I felt like I had to shrink, where I couldn't share about my latest media happening or success, or I would share and it would just be like mild interest. So they'd be like, oh, okay. And I'm like, this is big shit. Like, come on, I needed people like me. I'm like that person who like, yes,
you need
cheerleaders. Like, yes, what you doing? Let's go. Right? I'm that person who pumping people up. So I needed that same energy. And that's part of what it taught me too, is that people are not always going to love you in the way you would like them to love you.
True.
Like friends, like we all have love languages, and friends are not always going to know your love language as well. So that was definitely, I would say, like as a kid, early parts of my marriage, and definitely towards the latter parts of my friendships, I was shrinking.
So you learned to let people show up how they show up, and then you decide if you want to allow them to continue in your life.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's where I'm at now. Yep. Pretty much. That sums it up well.
Yeah.
And my thing is, I'm gonna make a decision. Are you an essential person or you non-essential? At this point, like, you know how essential workers, you know, like we need the doctors, the nurses, the firemen, the paramedics, right? We need those folks, but then we have non-essential folks as well. You know, so that's exactly what it is. If you're gonna show up a certain way, then I'm gonna show up a certain way, and I'm not gonna try to control you. I'm gonna control what I do. Yep. Because I don't have to deal with you. Yeah. Like, I'm one of the people now where I'm like, it's no thing for me to cut off our connection. Yeah. Unless you're an essential person in my life.
Yeah. That's actually healthy. So, because people will bleed you dry and then play victim when you say something. Yeah. Or, well, I didn't ask you to do that.
And the thing is, it's not even about me being right. It's like, do you want to be right or you want to be happy? Yes. A lot of times I want to be happy. That's why sometimes you'll see people, we might having a debate on Facebook, and I'm like, okay, I'm tapping out now. We can agree to disagree, because I'm not gonna keep going back and forth with you. Like, you gonna feel the way you feel, and I'm a damn sure feel the way I'm gonna feel. So we don't have to keep negotiating, because ain't no money on the table here.
Yeah, welcome to the block party.
Right, like seriously, like I'm not. And then people like, oh no, don't block them. You know, I am gonna block them, because I don't want you to see shit I got going on. Just bye. I don't even want. No, because I'm not even that type where, I want to show them what I'm doing. No, because I ain't got to show off like that. Like people, you know, and that's part of the conflict of it, of social media. Like, it's a gift and a curse. It's like you have to show certain things, but then some days it's like, I'm not going through all of this pomp and circumstance. Either you like it or you don't. Shit.
Amen to that. Yeah.
So, and I think that's part of what resonates with people, but I think that's also part of what's held me back at times, because people know that in a way I'm a loose cannon. You ain't gonna be able to just come on me and do any type of thing, and I don't have an issue with confrontation. Like we can, like I'm not.
My name Rocky.
Right. I don't want to. I know, and I don't want. And people who who know me know that I am a soft-hearted person. Like I am compassionate. I'm gonna be there and rock with you. I'm gonna help people as best as I can. But once you step in a certain zone with me, it's like, okay, well, we don't want to go here.
Is you about to catch it? So it is 7:45. Okay, we're going to open the phone lines up. So good people out there in YouTube and Facebook world, if you guys want to call in and ask Miss Rocky some questions, the phone lines are open. I stuck to the time limit today, y'all. Girl, I'll be messing up.
I know it's a process, and I just want to say thank you again for having me on. I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
Keep doing it. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just keep doing it.
I'm trying my best.
Because people be like, you said that. I'm like, girl, y'all know how I be fucking up. Like, y'all ain't get it, like, but that's okay. I mean, but when you had a consistency and a drive, and people see your drive and your passion, your consistency, and that's the people I try to align with as well, which is hard. In Detroit, because people are a lot of times impressed more by style than substance. Yeah. And it's like, you know what, we can do some style, but I'm really about substance. People know and have been surprised when they work with me, like, I'm about business now.
Yes, you are.
Like, I can be silly and impulsive and all that. You might think, from my post that I'm a live wire. But also people don't tap in when they see the inspirational posts too. People see what they want to. You just scroll past all them inspirational memes. But of course you commented on this one. And I'm like, you know what? The algorithm.
We got us a caller. Uh-oh. Hold on. I'm going to call the caller back.
I was ready too. On my headphone.
Hi, caller. We can hear you. Okay.
We can't hear them.
She said this one is speaking to her.
Okay, good. Okay.
Can you hear? Huh? Oh. Hold on, caller. Okay. Can you hear?
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, finish talking.
But yeah, I was just saying that this, I really don't have any questions. I'm really trying to think of one because I was just hearing so much accountability and just self-awareness that I really appreciate because a lot of people don't take the time to assess what their issue or problem was in certain situation and just always throw the excuses and why somebody was wrong and somebody did this, somebody did that. I just appreciate it so much.
Okay. Thank you. What's your name?
Jenna.
Okay, but you know what? It's definitely been a process, and there have been times where I done fussed and be like, "Fuck them," But then after you get through that, you definitely and it's just as you mature and get older, you have to be accountable for how you showed up and where was the disconnect, where was the gap, and so.
Yes.
That's and that's still an ongoing process for me. That's still just an ongoing process. So I don't want to put the front up here like I'm just this mature and evolved a person and everything is so great. Because it's definitely still a process where I have to check myself at times. Be like, wait a minute now, okay. But these relationships have definitely helped me get to that point and grow to that point.
We got another caller. Hold on.
Okay.
Hello, caller. Hello.
I just hear it beeping.
Uh-oh, it's not answering. Hello. Hello, caller. Hold on. We're going to call that caller back too. Okay. Call.
Oh, it's my sister watching. Hey, sis. My sister Tanya.
Okay. This is. Oh no, I'm having Wi-Fi issues. Oh.
Are you connected?
Yeah. So callers, if you guys are still tuned into the show, can you text me your questions? You can text them to me, and I will go from there because I am having some connection issues right now. So we had they text the last time too.
Gotta make it do what it do. There's multiple ways of communicating. I love it.
Or you can chime in on Facebook. Let me go to Facebook. If you want to make comments.
I was looking at the live video to see if people wanted to.
And I have never watched myself live on Facebook. Hi, Tanya.
That's my sister.
How you doing, girl?
Down in ATL, shorty.
Okay, let me try it again. I think I got a text question coming in. What was
I'm telling you, these kids, that's why I say they got it good. Because, baby, back in the day, wasn't no call waiting.
Really?
you would get kicked off if somebody called when you was AOL, when you was online.
I don't know what is happening. Like, all of a sudden, everything is not connecting. Okay. Well, it is 7:52, but thank you, caller, for calling in. I appreciate your comment, and I am glad that this episode has resonated with you, that Rocky's story has been able to help you. Go ahead.
Okay, so Latoya, it's on the...
Oh, Toya, okay.
How quickly do you cut people off, or do you ever find yourself missing them? Well, Latoya, it depends on the relationship. And absolutely, I miss them. As I said, my former sister circle, I miss parts about that relationship. It's a grieving process. Like, you divorce your spouse, and I was speaking to a relationship expert, and she said people don't want to divorce the people; they want to divorce the pain.
Yeah.
A lot of times. So I absolutely still miss them, but I know just where we were going in our life. And it was a few years, actually. It was about 3-4 years of me feeling a certain way before I finally was like, nah, I'm done. Mm-hmm. And so, but other people, like, if I don't have a strong personal relationship with them, it don't take long at all. Especially if we just social media, Facebook friends, like, depending on, the nature of the issue that we have. Mm-hmm. Is somewhere you're like, oh, let me give them another chance. And other people, it's like, nah, fuck that. This is, I'm good.
Yeah.
Especially if you're not, again, an essential person in my life at this point. Like, seriously, and the older you get, you do, you absolutely miss those people. But do I miss feeling like at times I had to shrink myself? No. Mm-hmm. Did I miss having to explain myself? And this is with anyone. Do I miss having to explain myself or go through mental gymnastics to communicate?
Yes.
No, I don't miss that. And so, again, those are things, that's why I said I didn't want to feel like I was in another marriage. Because in marriage, you'll have those moments where communication is not going well, where you can't stand each other, where it's just like, ugh. Mm-hmm. But you have to remember the commitment that you made. Mm-hmm. And you have to weigh the pros and cons of, is this worth it? So, and I think it's another lady. I'm not sure if that's...
Oh, that's my best friend right there.
Okay, I didn't know, okay.
She said, my comment is about letting your light shine. Toya, thank you for your question. Letting your light shine. She's asking you, did something happen internally or externally that made you realize you should not dim your light?
Well, there were several things, I guess, internally. Externally, I guess at what point in my life? So when uh, one of the things, and people know I've shared this, uh, that helped me, and this is the irony, um, is when my husband and I experienced infidelity in our marriage. That was a wake up call for me, so to speak, to say, what am I going to do and how am I going to move forward in the relationship? Is it worth moving forward? And that was one of the moments where I realized you can't depend on other people to change.
Yeah.
You have to make some changes. And again, not totally the onus was on him because you made the decisions. So I wasn't like, oh, what did I do to make you? No, but I had to look at how was I showing up in our marriage and what were some things that I wanted to prepare myself for the future.
Okay.
So that was one instance. Also as a mother, and then realizing one day I was like, I don't want to be just a mom. I want to do other things. And a call from Sally Mae was one of the catalysts. That's one of the external things. Sally Mae was like, these loans is doing. I was like, I need to go back to school. So that's when, and Ben, he encouraged me. He was like, go back to school. Why don't you want to go into radio? What happened to that? He was one, because he knew I didn't want to get a master's in social work. He was like, I know you don't want to do that. He said, I thought you want to go into radio. And I was like, I do, but he like, well, do that. You know, like, do that. And I'm like, okay. So it was, and then also, after my husband had the stroke too. After my children, it was just like different milestones happening in my life where I was like, I don't want to just be shrinking from this. I need to show up the way that's best for me, best for my family, and in a way that I'm going to be happy with and not other people are happy with. And so it's several things that brought that about. And then just therapy as well. Internally therapy, working on and realizing my shit and realizing I can't control others, and realizing I needed to secure my future more. So that was definitely a lot of catalysts that were on my journey of becoming.
Okay.
So yeah.
Well, then we have another question. It says, I don't have a question, but Rocky touched on how inconsistency creates distrust. This is something I've been experiencing for years with my children's father, and it really disrupts the co-parenting. How do I get past and basically go on by my motto, first we try? I can't see the rest.
Then we trust. First we try, then we trust.
Okay.
Ooh. I mean, to be honest, I don't really have an answer for that.
Now, I have an answer for that.
Yeah, that might be better your department. Yeah.
So, because I am, what my best friend there says, I'm always picking up strays. Because I trust first, like I let people I welcome everybody until they show me different. And I do a lot of forgiving. I forgive and I don't throw it up in people's face and stuff. So I ain't gonna say I forget because, remembering, but I don't throw it up in people's face. But I don't know, I just always operate like that. And I've met some really good people because I went into it not having expectations. So not having an expectation and just letting people be and give people the grace and space to just be because I want it, you know? So that's, okay, so I'm always talking about my best friend. She said, walk like a duck, talk like a duck, it's a duck. So, and when you see a person for who they are, once they drop their mask, you see them for who they are, then you just gotta decide, do I want to continue? Do I want to, keep them there just for whatever? Decide how you want that person to be in life, even if you want them there, father the child or not. Like, how much control do I want to give up with my child, things like that. But if you see that this person is inconsistent and things like that, do the right thing by your child. And if this person not showing up, don't tell your child that they coming. Don't don't set your child up for success.
Maybe I would say maybe have them in therapy as well, or maybe have conversations with them, age appropriate, about not understanding that dad can be inconsistent at times, and that's not a reflection of them.
Yep.
That's not a reflection of who they are.
And you didn't do nothing.
Them of that, and that can be. I'm sure that can be strenuous because there's no guarantees.
Yeah, because I grew up like you said, with the father. Sometimes I'm sitting on the couch waiting. I thought we were going to see
looking
the
out
point.
the window.
Yeah. So, but you don't
and
have
definitely maybe mediation.
Yeah.
I would suggest mediation too if you don't have friend of the court involved. Mediation.
Get friend of the court involved.
Yeah,
no.
well, right, definitely.
Well, I'm talking to my phone. I'm sorry. Get friend of the court involved.
Yep.
But no, and then the whole trust thing, don't have expectations. Somebody showing you who they are, believe them, and you move accordingly.
Yeah, I've had to learn too.
What Nasha said, she's our, thank you. I have a mentor, and she is really helping me, letting my light shine, and my therapist too. It took my manager to tell me flat out, don't let anyone dim my light. Exactly. It took me a while to internally believe that, and I still work. Exactly. It's still a work in progress, and I'm so much better now.
Right.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. When you have people pouring into you, that's why it's important to have mentors or therapists or just other people, not just your friends, but other people who
have objective views. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Pour life into.
Right. And know you have a purpose in this life. Like know you have a purpose. Know God put you here for a reason, and we all still struggle with it at times. And and then just be prepared though. You might miss out on some opportunities if you're dimming your light. So do I want to miss out on this opportunity? And that's what I've learned through my media journey as well. Like I only have this one opportunity to speak to this person. You know, those times where a celebrity might come by and I'm like, wait a minute, or an influencer or whomever, and I'm like, I gotta catch this opportunity before it's gone. Or if you have a task at work that you could show up for, and you're dimming your light because of whatever BS, just know that opportunity might pass you by, something that you are meant to do. And you don't have to always have everything perfect together. If you got maybe about 50% of what is needed, then just fake it till you make it sometimes. Just work it out.
Just do
it.
Seriously,
because a lot of times people will be thinking stuff is going well, and I'm like, they don't know how it's so many intricate parts. So
people don't post the behind the scenes stuff all the time. They post the pretty picture on social media.
Baby.
You ain't post you over here sitting in the corner crying.
Or that you was up till 3, 4 in the morning working with that software trying to work out the kinks. Shit, baby, listen, those of us who are creatives understand.
Yes.
That shit is hard work. And so that's why I've definitely gotten to the point now where I'm like, you're gonna pay me for my time. Like we're not just exchanging hot breath anymore. We're not doing that. Like, no, and by the way, Bobby did not pay me to come here. But I'm saying like different things, like people want me to come host an event. You want me to moderate a panel. You want me to give PR advice. That costs money. Like, cause when you go to Meijer and Best Buy and Home Depot, you're not saying to them, oh, I ain't got no money. Can I pay? No, you come in with the money. So, but I'm sorry.
If you was in Hollywood, they be, so gotta start somewhere.
Don't even.
Fallon Williams, love what y'all doing. Hey, Fallon.
Thank you, Fallon. I'm like, let me not get on a tangent. We'll be here all night, Jesus.
Yes. Okay, so it is 8:04. So before we close out, I just want to say thank you again for being here and share your social media handles.
It's Rocky's Reality on everything. Y'all got it there. So at Rocky's Reality. Also my company, Right Down to It, is where I do public relations, hosting, moderating, writing and editing. If you need that next bestseller out there, manuscripts and just all of that good stuff. So, yep, that's All my information right down to it is my other page as well.
And what date, time, your podcast?
Rocky's Reality. As of now, Rocky's Reality is returning February 29th. We will be live from the Detroit Is Different studio Thursday, February 29th, 7 p.m. Eastern, live on Facebook, YouTube. Also, Soul TV is a platform on Facebook and Roku, where it also broadcasts. And my guest will be Swifty McVeigh of D12.
Oh, wow.
Yep. So stay tuned. But follow Rocky's Reality because I'm trying to work on another guest that might come on earlier. So follow.
Let me know you get Idris Elba.
Listen, girl. Listen.
His wife posted the other day. She was like,
our husband. Yes. You know that's our husband. You know what? My boo is my boo. But listen,
yes.
Idris is. Listen, he's one of the fantasy.
Yes, he everybody.
Ooh.
We can get a throuple. No,
I love my husband. I love my husband. Ooh, Idris. We all, and see, this is the fun thing. We can say we have celebrity crushes because I know we love him some Janet Jackson and some Halle and who else is his boo? Nia Long, Sanaa Lathan. So we both got our celebrity boos.
Yeah, so we gonna share this one. Okay, so real quick, guys, tune in next.
Are we doing the questions thing?
Oh no, I'm about to close out.
Oh, okay. Okay, I'm sorry. Because I know you said something about questions. I was like,
we answered the ones that was on Facebook. They
okay.
We didn't have any more. Let me see. Get my little calendar out here. Because next week, y'all, I have special guest. Let me take this out my ear. Quanzel Howerton. He is the founder of Chosen. Is it Chosen Kingdom Builders? Yes. Sorry, Quan. I had a brain fart. But yes, Quanzel will be here sharing his story from boys to men. Next Thursday, 7 p.m., live on YouTube and Facebook. Join me and my special guest, Quanzel Howerton. Guys, thank you for being here with us tonight. Thank you for calling in. Thank you for your Facebook questions. And she has Rocky's Reality, and she is also next Thursday at 7 p.m. on...
February 29th.
Oh, February 29th. February 29th, sorry.
Yep, thank you.
So you can check her out too. So I will see you guys next week. And this was fun. Thank you, Rocky.
Thank you.
Good night, y'all.
You're welcome.